There's only one thing that's running through my soul, and that is
Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. This is the Crimson Dynasty. I'm your host. My name is Sishi, and we're a part of the Bama Standard Network here on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any content. Now, we do have one of our co-hosts here tonight, JB from Sunday Nights Talking Bama. We are missing Dan the Man, but he'll be back next week, of course, assuming that we'll have something to talk about related to Bama football, but we'll see about that. Now, before we kick things off, we do have a special guest that'll be joining shortly. But before we kick things off, I do want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Lambstone Company. So if you've been looking for a natural stone, a beautiful stone to add around your home, and you don't want to settle for subpar materials, check out Lambstone Company. They have a beautiful selection of natural stone products to meet all of your project needs. We do have their website listed below. They're located in Oneonta, Alabama, and they're one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. So contact them, let them know that we sent you by using promo code the Bama Standard to receive 10% off of your first order. So before we get started, I do want to let those who are watching, look, we have our Q&A segment towards the end of this show. Y'all know we like to be real here. I know that we had some interesting clips that kind of went viral over the last few days, but, you know, we don't bite our tongues here. So be sure to put your questions or your comments in the live chat, and then we'll be sure to highlight them towards the end. And then if you're watching us right now on X, be sure to head over to our YouTube channel and type in the Bama Standard and subscribe so you don't miss any hot content. So JV, how you feeling, man? Before we kick these off, I just got to ask you, how you feeling? Because we've been talking about the same things. Like since the Vandy loss, it's been the same thing. So how are you feeling coming off of another L and then the way that we lost? How you feeling?
Not feeling too good about the L, but, you know, we are here now, so we got to dump all that in the toilet, flush it down, and try to move forward to these Tigers this Saturday, man. So, I mean, you're right. It's been very repetitive, you know, the talk ever since the Vandy game. It's been so up and down, Sishi. We have a great week, then we have a bad week. It's been so up and down and inconsistent, but we still have a slight chance. Like we saw last night, it's a slight chance. But before we get to that, we have to start with beating Auburn on Saturday. So I'm focused on Auburn right now.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And that's the thing. It's like we've gotten well beyond just winning. You know, it got to a point where we have to win convincingly. You know what I mean? It can't, and I get it because the Iron Bowl, that's a huge matchup every year. But at the same time, those style points matter. So the question is, and I'm going to ask it to the audience, does Alabama still have a chance at the playoffs? That's what we want to kick things off with first, because we know that the College Football Playoff Committee, they released their rankings last night. They have Alabama at number 13. And it's so ironic with this being week 14. This was around the same ranking that we had, like a month ago, 4 weeks ago, where we were sitting at like 14. Now that was the AP poll, but it just says a lot about where we were then and where we are now. And then if we can kind of judge like how much improvement we've made since then. So technically, yes, we can still get in. I mean, there are a lot of big games that we're going to talk about later on in the show, you know, that will impact Alabama. Of course, the Iron Bowl, that would definitely be leverage, even though they haven't had the best season, you know, they have made some improvements. And so I don't know. I mean, I definitely think that there's opportunity. I do believe that, you know, since we've had the same issues and sometimes it seems like a lack of effort and, you know, we have those high highs and low moments. That's the part that bothers me the most, because it makes me wonder, like, how much do you want it? You know what I mean? Like, are you satisfied with this? Like, surely you're not. Like, surely y'all are not comfortable with being on the outside looking in. Like, you mean to tell me that they expanded the playoffs to 12 teams and we're not even in the top 12? Like, that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at right now. So it's definitely it can happen. You know, it's just a matter of how we show up against Auburn. But I want to get your take on that. So, you know, technically, I would say yes, we still have an opportunity to get in. It sounds like you agree with that. But then my question to you would be, I know that you're a Bama fan, but do you feel like we deserve to be in with what you've been seeing over the last few weeks?
No, hell no, we don't deserve to be in, especially after what we did in Norman, Oklahoma, to only score 3 points. We went all the way to Oklahoma to only score 3 points. And that was the most disappointing part about it. You know, if it was a competitive game and we lost by 3 points and it was, you know, nip and tuck, I understand. Because before the season started, I said we would lose 2 games, Tennessee and Oklahoma. We did not expect the Vandy loss. Nobody in their right mind expected us to lose to Vandy. So they kind of threw our season off, and we haven't got back right since. So the Tennessee loss, it was there, but we couldn't get the job done. This past week, this loss was just the worst. It was worse than the Vandy loss. We got our ass stomped out. I mean, to get run on for over 250 yards, have a quarterback who's not really a running quarterback go for over 100. We couldn't move the ball. We only scored 3 points. We scored the first 3 points and don't score again. That's unheard of for Alabama. So to say that we still have a quarter's chance, 25% chance, it's kind of it's a little weird. But that's how the landscape of college football is going. You have so many upsets, so many teams that get high and then they come crashing down. Ole Miss had the same issue we had. They were in the catbird seat, just like Alabama. All you had to do is win. Just win, keep winning. You're going to get right in the playoffs. You in the sweet spot. 7, 8, 9, sweet spot. But now, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, you lay the egg in Florida. Kalen the boy, you lay the egg in Oklahoma. So now both of us slid down, and it's like the ladder's got grease on it. We keep climbing, but as soon as you get up another rung, you just slide on down. So we are the benefit of other teams struggling. We need at least 2 upsets to happen in order for us to even get considered for one of those spots if we beat Auburn. So I don't think we deserve it, but who knows? We may get in.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, I've never said that before. Like, I've never said, oh, well, I kind of don't feel like we should get in or whatever the case may be. I've never actually said that. But, you know, seeing how the way we showed up against Oklahoma, that was piss poor. Like, there's literally no other word. I mean, you can add whatever adjectives you want. And I think Justin wanted to add maybe some adjectives or whatever else he had in mind.
Verbs, nouns.
I know. Adverbs. I mean,
you got to unmute your mic first.
He got excited.
That's exactly what it is, or mad. But JB, you're talking about grease on the ladder. We're the ones who putting the grease on every rung. We are our own worst enemy. When you look at the college football playoffs, a championship contender does not go on the road to a 5-5 to face an Oklahoma team that is 5-5 and get whooped. We didn't just get our ass whipped. We also took it. We took it and didn't fight it off, and didn't seem like we cared to fight it off. Here's another reason I don't feel like we deserve to be in. They lost 14 players on the offensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. They were down to 3rd and 4th string players. You mean to tell me out of all those 4 and 5 star players on Alabama's team, veteran 4 and 5 star players, that they were no match for a bunch of 3rd and 4th string players? And here's the other part of why I don't believe we belong. Oklahoma, we said this Saturday night, Oklahoma had no offensive coordinator. He was fired a month ago. You let a team with no coordinator whip you offensively. So no, we don't deserve to be in at all. And JB, I think you said it Sunday night. I don't want to see Alabama get in there and get embarrassed in the first round. Now, does Alabama have the talent to go deep in the playoffs? They absolutely do. That's if their give a damn is turned all the way up. We played to the standard. But there is no sign that we're going to do that at all, except for the big money games, the LSU game, the Georgia game. And I started to think about that. Why are we showing up in those big money games? I say big money because when NFL scouts and coaches are evaluating you, what tapes are they looking at? Georgia, LSU,
and Tennessee.
So we show up there. But they don't understand that they're also looking at what you do in the games that may not matter. How do you respond? I also don't feel like this is a team that responds to adversity the right way. They cannot handle adversity. We're a play ahead team. If we were in the lead, we're handling our business. No one can come close to us. But if we start getting hit in the mouth, all of a sudden we start self-destructing. We're hanging our heads. We're running into each other. We're not in the right places. The effort is gone. In times of adversity, they say cream rises to the top. Well, turds also rise to the top too. And we saw which of those showed up. Well,
it's a lack of adjustments, Justin. It's a lack of adjustments.
It's a lack of give a damn.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Now, does Alabama have a shot? They do. And let me tell you, the only reason they do, money, the brand. They know the eyeballs will be tuned in to playoff games if Bama's in it.
Yeah.
But the big thing is, if we even have the argument for them to do that, you got to beat Auburn. And you got to beat Auburn convincingly.
Yeah. I was thinking about that today too. It's like, following the money. I mean, an SMU making it in the 12-team playoff. These teams that haven't gone to those bigger games, their fans don't travel like the Alabamas, the Georgias. So they're gonna. Playoff committee is going to see that, but I do believe that our guest is here. So
and I will hop off and let y'all have it. And I know this man's going to bring it.
Oh,
yeah, we need it too. Hey, okay. We got my brother from another mother. Look, we got Steven. He like he ready to go.
Like he just woke up.
I know. He like he just woke
up. Look. I didn't just wake up. I'm doing a little bit of production stuff here. For my own thing in the next hour, for the next 30 minutes or so. Okay. But I gotta say this, man. The college football playoffs should be the last thing on these boys' minds. Saturday or nothing. It's the Iron Bowl, man. This is the game. My whole life has centered around this sucker right here.
Steven.
Tagan DeBoer should have me give the pregame speech.
He should.
Like, if he ever just walk in there and get a pregame speech, my number one thing will be about, this ain't about the coaches, this ain't about scheme, all of that. This ain't even really about the upperclassmen, though it is somewhere. This is about all you players that came from this state. Like, when you leave Alabama football, the number one question they're going to ask you, what was your record against Auburn? Malachi Moore, you haven't lost to Auburn in your life. Don't let Saturday be the day. Deontay Lawson, Q-Rob, I don't care if y'all can't play. Y'all better bring all of y'all limbs and motivate y'all brothers, because Auburn better not eat a bowl game on your watch. Tim Keenan, you've never lost to Auburn. Don't let it be on Saturday. Kobe Prentice, Hollywood, do not. Next Saturday, Red Morgan, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. Do not.
I know.
Next Saturday. Be the young kids are from this state. Jamaria Latham, you too, from this state. Do not let Saturday walk out the door and you have not handed them jokers back to the barn with no bowl game. Okay. If they eat on your head, problem.
Hey, y'all.
That's what I'm talking about, Steven.
Hey, JB, he almost went through the whole roster.
I thought he was gonna be like Denzel on training day. I'm putting cases out on all you.
I'm just saying, like, if Auburn eat on your head, that's on you. This is the JB. I don't want to rehearse this story another. I don't want to tell the story another time, man.
Only about 5 times already.
Five times, man. This was me. This was me in the house. Like, look, I got introduced to the Iron Bowl. I'm a young kid. I'm literally going into the bathroom just to use the school restroom, and they shooting dice in there, saying, "Put your money up." War Tide, Roll Tide, War Eagle. Put your money up. We shooting forward right now in the bathroom and under the Iron Bowl. Who you got? Pick up the money. Who you got? Like, that was me. That's how I came up in this thing. I had two principals. One had Bear Bryant stuff everywhere. The other one had Auburn stuff everywhere. I was inducted in this. My own wedding. Here's my dad. Please, Stephen, don't have her just take all of your Alabama stuff. Pops, be quiet, man. That's why I'm not talking to him right now because he's an Auburn fan this week.
Oh
so look, Bama players. King and DeBoer, if you want me giving the pregame speech, bro, I will do it. This ain't about the playoff. This is about handling Auburn. If chaos happened, thank God let it happen. But right now, we got a date on Saban Field. You against them. Take care of them.
Yeah.
And they doing all this, Stephen. They doing
look, we're gonna get into that.
Too much curve money.
But you know what though? But we gave them the breathing room to talk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure
I mean,
look, we Bama did. That's what I'm saying. You let 5-5 putrid Oklahoma eat off you. Do not let Auburn do it too. You didn't let putrid Oklahoma at 5-5. The quarterback only threw 9 passes. You let the third string running back get over 100 on you. Okay, you let Oklahoma eat off you.
Their starting running back was out. Like,
don't let Hugh Freeze, who cheated, by the way, at Ole Miss to beat you. Don't let Hugh Freeze try to pimp walk himself in here and eat off you too.
All right.
Don't let that happen.
Don't let that happen.
Don't let that happen.
Harpo.
Don't let that happen. You got recruits in here. You got great grandmamas up in here. Don't you let Hugh Freeze bring his please himself in here and eat.
I know his raggedy self. Look, let's hit this super chat really quick because we want to show some love to the supporters, and then I want to jump into something else. Shout out to Jordan Kane. Remember, Ryan Grubb was supposed to be the OC. Nick Sheridan only has 1 year of experience as OC. DeBoer needs to take the playbook right now. I'm glad you said that, Jordan, because that was the next thing that we wanted to jump into. New coaching positions, anything that we expect to see as far as changes when it comes to the coaches, I would say particularly the coordinators. But, Ryan Grubb was supposed to, we wanted him to come to Alabama. Of course, he chose Seattle Seahawks. They haven't been doing their best for the most part, but I think that is something that maybe affected us because Nick Sheridan, like Jordan said, he only had about a year, maybe 2, I believe, just one at Indiana. So it's not like he had a whole lot of experience, but at the same time, I mean, he getting a big check. So, I mean, you got to look at that as well. So I'm curious, what would have been that impact if we would have had Ryan Grubb? I mean, is that something that we feel like would have made a huge difference? I'll start with you, Stephen, on this one.
I feel like it would have. I definitely feel like it would have. Because you look at this, Grubb was with DeBoer at Sioux Falls. He was with him at Fresno State. He was with him at Washington. You look at that offense, Michael Penix Jr. cooking up the folks like gumbo. That was Ryan Grubb. You look at they had a 1,000-yard running back. That was Ryan Grubb. You look at you had Odunze, Jalen Polk, McMillan. They all went to the NFL. That was Ryan Grubb.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Nick Sheridan was a tight ends coach that you took and made the OC. If we can look at this honestly, have we seen a difference between Nick Sheridan and Tommy Rees?
Nope.
That's what I was thinking about.
I mean, because Tommy Rees beat LSU last year. And then Tommy Rees forgot how to call a play the very next game.
Yeah.
So here's Nick Sheridan. Yeah, you schemed up to beat LSU. Awesome. But you couldn't scheme up to beat 5-5 Oklahoma. Like, they just coming in hoping for a chicken bone and a prayer.
Oh, my God.
And they get a bowl game. They come in there. All they want is one little chicken bone and a prayer, but hot dog, they eating the bowl game.
We done handed them a bowl, a KFC bowl, Stephen.
Look. We done handed them 2 KFC bowls, a whole Thanksgiving meal, and a partridge and a pear tree. That's what we gave them. That's what we gave them now.
No.
I don't know where he's getting these analogies from.
I don't know either, but I love it. Well, JB, what are your thoughts? Do you feel like that there was some negative impact to not getting Ryan Grubb? And then I also want to ask, and Stephen, I'll let you piggyback off on this after JB about Jim McElwain, because I keep hearing his name now that he's leaving Central Michigan, because we have to remember he was at Alabama. I believe he was our OC from 2008 to 2011. He went on to Florida, Michigan, a couple other schools, but there was thoughts about possibly him coming back to Alabama. So JB, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so first of all, Steven is absolutely right about Ryan Grubb leaving. That was an impact. Nick Sheridan had that year. He was at Indiana with Kalen. Terrible. I don't know if he was with Kalen, but he was at Indiana and he didn't do a good job. He didn't do a good job. And now you bring him over. Tight ends coach. First of all, teach your tight ends how to catch the ball. All right. Because we had way too many drops from the tight end position.
Yeah.
So teach them how to catch the ball. Secondly, you're not making adjustments. You come in with the same game plan from the LSU game to give it in the Oklahoma game. Oklahoma had a whole week to prepare. We forget this. They were on a bye week. They had a whole week to prepare for Alabama. And we come in trying to run those same plays we ran against LSU. It did not work. He made no adjustments. I don't know. I know for a fact we're going to have different coordinators. I mean, it's my opinion. I don't know no intel, but I know Steven would probably agree. We will have different coordinators. I don't know about the DC. I really like Kane Womack. I think he got a raw deal. Everybody wanted Kane Womack fired after Vandy game. He's come along. This team has playing. He's got the guys playing. The 4-2-5 is going to struggle against the run. I remember before the season, Marvin Constant, other guys, other players who played ball said that the 4-2-5 was going to be susceptible to the run. Like, you can actually run on this defense if you don't make adjustments. So Kane is going to have some adjustments in his bag next season if he comes back. So far as Jim McElwain goes, I like Jim McElwain. I remember him. I think he was coaching at Colorado State one time, if I'm not mistaken. We played them. I think I was at that game. So I mean, we need somebody. We need somebody with some experience, somebody who's been around the block 2-3 times to come in here and take control of the offense and not just call the plays. And to be honest with you guys, I kind of feel like in some of the good moments, he's probably getting advice from Kalen the boy. Like, okay, what you think we should run? What you think we should do? Instead of just going out there calling them himself. Because you don't see it looks totally different every week. How does the offense look different every week? I don't understand that. That's what I don't understand. But I really think we need a new OC. We may need new coaches in other positions as well. I don't want to get into that. But OC, definitely, I think we need a new OC.
I agree with you. Really quickly, Jeremy Sanders, 3-man, shout out to you. 3-man front don't work against the dang run. Yep. It sure does not.
I'm gonna say this before I get ready pretty soon to get this production thing going here. But I look at Jim McElwain. I love Jimmy Mack. Jimmy Mack was on the staff 2008 to 2011. So two national championships. Helped Mark Ingram get a Heisman Trophy 2009. Helped Trent Richardson win the Doak Walker 2011. You get national championships with G Mack and AJ McCarron. I love McElwain, but we have to ask ourselves this question: has the game passed him by, though? You don't. Much as I love Coach McElwain, you don't want a coach that is past that prime. Also, so to me, I look at it like this. I look. You got one of two options here. Number one, DeBoer, you call this. Or number two, you hand that clipboard to Shepard. Shep, you call this.
Yeah.
Because Sheridan? No. Absolutely. Look, I and the Deacon's chair will be out there if I see Sheridan with one more clipboard. Me and the Deacon's chair will be out there on the field. So Shep called this or Coach DeBoer called this. Now, Kane Womack, I go back to JB's point. Yes, the run defense can be better, but at the very least, week after week, we're seeing Kane grow.
Yeah.
Like, the secondary is getting better. Ever since you inserted Brace and Hubbard, my gosh, wow. Like, secondary's playing better. You look at, you've been getting the pass rush. Jahad Campbell has been playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what Justin Jefferson does as the green dot communication system. So Womack, you can work with him. Like, you're seeing steady growth. Yes, the run defense, Kane, you got to get that better, son. You got to get that better. But at least game by game, week by week, we're seeing growth with you, Kane. It's like one week you're eating your green peas and you're eating some lima beans, some vegetables, Kane. You're getting better. Nick Sheridan, I don't know what to say for you, man.
You must be ready for tomorrow, Steven, talking about food already.
I mean, I'm just saying, but here's the thing, Coach Sheridan. 85 to 90% of the offense is this 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver formation. But I'm like, what in the world is this?
Yeah.
The tight ends aren't creating no type of separation. And God bless Jeremy Bernard and Ron Williams. I love them to death, but good gosh, we got more receivers. Use them.
I question
is Kobe Prentice invisible? Did Kendrick Law fall off the face of the earth?
Do they not see Caleb Odom as big as he is?
The boy is 6'5". Do you not see that freak athlete out there? Do you not see Emmanuel Henderson?
Jr.?
Do you not see Jaron Hamilton? I mean,
Bubba, come on.
Do they not see Lil Rico? I mean, Lil Rico just scored a touchdown against Mercer. Do you not see Lil Rico? You got dudes.
Oh my God.
You got them. You got them. They right there. You got thoroughbred horses. Them things right there. Can you just put them on the field, please? Please. That's all I'm asking. I love Jern. Big ups to Jern. Big ups to Hollywood. But good gracious, you got other dudes. Put them out there.
I agree. Well, before we talk about let's get the other super chat really quickly. I want to shout out Don Parker. Shout out to you.
My boy.
I know. I've been saying it all week. Bama loses to Iron Bowl, and the $75 million will be found. If not, life will get extremely uncomfortable for DeBoer. No matter what happens going forward, heads will roll. Yeah, well, and then also shout out to Del B. Get a dang OC that's on the field. I agree.
I'm gonna say this one thing before I hop off about DeBoer. People, look, that man ain't going nowhere. Right. Unless you find $80 million in a pillowcase, that man ain't going nowhere. One of the 2 coordinators I can see, Greg Burns, been tied too much to the boy.
Yeah.
Y'all got to understand, this is Greg Burns' legacy on the line, too. Greg Burns then looked at what Nate Oates is doing for basketball, and Greg Burns is thinking, I'm a genius. I got basketball right. Yeah. But Greg Burns also knows the cash money is football. And he looked at this football decision he made like, oh, mercy.
Yeah.
You got to get this right. DeBoer, Burn wants DeBoer to work, y'all.
I want him to work. I think
he's going to work.
Because Burn knows if this don't work, I'm forever tied to it.
Yeah.
Greg Burn knows this. Yeah. Just like even in death, people revere Mal Moore because he got it right with Nick Saban.
Yeah.
People to this day revere Mal Moore because he got it right with Nick Saban. And so Greg Burn understands this. Nick Saban then retired, and I done went out here and got this coach. I can't fumble the bag as the AD. Okay. I can't do it. I didn't let the great Goose retire.
No.
I gotta have a plan B here.
Gotta have a plan B.
So Greg Burn is like, my plan B was the ball, and I'm holding on to this thing faster than Beyonce held on to that Lemonade album. So I'm holding on to this thing fast. Like I gotta win with this thing right here.
And maybe it's just a matter of getting better coordinators. That could be it.
Look, better coordinators, but most importantly, you gotta go. See, my bro JB, I'm gonna say this with a full chest.
I know
you gotta go back to getting some gangsters, man. You gotta go get some gangsters as players. Like You got to go out there and get some folks that don't give a rip about nothing but winning and will scare the daylights out of you if you ain't on what they on. Like them cats like Ruben, Reggie, Rolando, they all had some screws missing. They didn't get a rip about number winning and will jump on your head if you want to know what they on. Like Marlon Humphrey had in an interview one time when they had shut down Leonard Fournette and LSU in 2015.
Yeah.
They asked Marlon, how you did that? Bro, you see Ashawn, you see Ruben, you see them cats. If I didn't come out and practice on my A game, I was going to get jumped. Bump Nick Saban. I'm scared of Ruben. Bump Nick Saban. I'm scared of Jonathan Allen breathing down my neck.
So it sounds like you're saying accountability is what's missing.
Yes.
Amongst the players.
Look, and Jarvis asked Tony Brown. Folks were scared to death of Tony Brown.
Tony didn't play no games.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what you got to get back to, having them guys that police everybody, and they got everybody scared to death of them.
I agree.
My guy Mike McCoy said it best. Every team needs 2 church boys and 3 gangsters.
Yeah.
2 church boys to speak to the media, but 3 gangsters. If you don't get yourself, I'm gonna jump on you. What's
those ones in the car?
I'm just saying.
Those ones in the car. Look. Well, real quick before you leave, what are your thoughts really quickly on particularly the freshman linebacker at Auburn, Demarcus Riddick, that ran his mouth about Alabama, and Jalen Milroe and Ryan Williams in particular?
All I gotta say, Hollywood, first you, bruh. You from the state. They talking cash on you, son. Go out there, show Cam Coleman and all of them that you was the #1 receiver.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say to you, Ryan.
Period.
Milroe, you heard it yet, Milroe? Go out there and do your thing, bruh. Go out there and leave a mark on this Iron Bowl, dude. Go out here and do this. Go out here, Milroe, and do this.
Exactly.
Like I said to Bar, if you want me to talk to the team, I can go talk to them right now because I'm already ready to do it right now. And this team will be legendary. When I get finished, these boys will be ready to run through fire.
Steven, just you need to go out there anyway. Go out there whether they want you to or not. Just go out there anyway.
I'm telling you, these boys going to be running through fire when I finish. Straight fire.
Just
Forget
go out
the
there.
wood. They jumping through hoops of fire.
Don't wait. Talking about what he said. He said Milroe isn't faster than him, and Ryan Williams ain't really a big time playmaker. He ain't no big time player. Like what? First of all, who are you? Who are you?
First off, get out there, shut them up on the field, and do not let these jokers eat a bowl. Let them jokers go back home crying. They better not take anything home with them but that L. Because if they don't take nothing home with them but that L, that's on you.
I feel you. I got you. That's what they need to hear. Well, before you leave, any shows or any social media that you want?
Well, right now that they can always find me coaching M Smith, because I sound like I'm coaching right now, but coaching M Smith, you can find that on X. Getting ready to start this production for in my own words this evening, about a couple of moments here. So they can find me right there in my own words, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They can find me here, Bama Standard, on Tuesday with Justin Riley, Marvin Constant, the rest of us. I just float around there. They can find me Sunday talking Bama with the big man JB and the skater man JT. So and you can also find me here making appearances on Crimson Dynasty with the man JB and the outstanding she holding it down right here. And Coach the boy, last thought, KD, call me, bruh. I'm ready to go in here and make these boys run through fire.
Let's go. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Stephen, and we'll see you again soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Roll Tide. Roll. Okay, and then shout out to 334 Gull. Thank you for the super chat. It's easy for a linebacker to call out a player he's not guarding, and he knows he don't want that smoke. He don't want that smoke. He just wanted to. I mean, he's a freshman. I will say though, looking at his numbers, he's been doing well at Auburn. As far as the tackles and things like that. So I get it. He's a freshman. He's kind of arrogant and all that. Auburn has been pretty much bad throughout the entire season, but he has good numbers. So for him, what I see is that he's kind of like more, I want to say individualistic right now, like kind of looking at his numbers and the type of plays that he's been making versus how the team has like 5 or 6 losses, so he's just running his mouth.
He wanted to make a headline, that's all.
Yeah, that's all that is. Now, really quickly, though, I wanted to mention, because one thing that keeps coming up is, possible players that may enter the portal at the end of the season, but and also how these losses that we've had, how it may affect recruiting. Well, on a positive note, we actually did just flip a guy from Michigan State, class of 2025 running back Jace Clarizio from he's actually from the state of Michigan. We flipped him from Michigan State, but then we also just picked up class of 2027 athlete Alexander Ward out of Marietta, Georgia. He committed to Alabama this week. He chose us over Georgia, Auburn, Florida State, and others. So really quickly, what are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about that? Because a lot of people kind of, you see certain guys decommitting. We just had Anthony Turbo Rogers, another running back decommit, but then we get, Clarizio. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, they're gonna flip flop, and we got to get used to it. It's not like it used to be 10 years ago. You may have a guy commit, then he may change his mind like one time. Yeah. A lot of these guys change their mind 3-4 times before signing day. So I don't, like I mentioned before, I don't really trust them until they put pen to paper. And a 2027 commit, oh my goodness, is that 3 years from now? Is he right. Is he in 9th grade, 10th grade? So
maybe 10.
I ain't gonna put no weight on that. I ain't gonna put no weight on that one. But this kid is running back. We actually needed another running back. Let's lock in on AK Deer. We need him to lock in, stay the course, because he can be a bell cow running back. He could be one of the greats. And then this kid from Michigan State, he has a chance to come in and make an impact as well. So I mean, I'm with it. Let's see how many guys we can actually get pen to paper to stay. Exactly. And another thing about this class, right? So this is Kalen DeBoer's really his first recruiting class, because last year he came along in January. We had already started. He had to get Saban's guys, had to re-recruit Ryan Williams. Yeah. So we got to give him a pass for that. This year, they got to be headstrong. We need Shep, Bama Rick Ross, Courtney Morgan. Y'all gonna have a big job on y'all hands from here on out. From signing day, early signing day, all the way. It's gonna be a job keeping these guys, because all the other teams have money. They have money just like Alabama got money. So you just gonna have to keep them and get them committed to the script 8.
Yep. I agree. Well, before we segue into really breaking down our matchup this weekend against Auburn, I wanted to shout out our other sponsor, WhitwillSports.com. We always tell you that your game day is not the same without a title towel. I finally got mine. So okay. Hey, I finally got it. Be sure to check out WhitwillSports.com and use promo code STANDARD for an exclusive discount. So shout out to them. They always show love. They're always in our chat and, just showing love to the fans. But I do want to kind of segue a little bit into our matchup this weekend. It's been a lot, I think, coming off of this loss against Oklahoma, especially the way that we lost, at least against Vanderbilt. I think we scored like 35 points. It was still a bad game, but it's still, we still scored, a touchdown. But just going into this game and just kind of looking at, where things are. So you have Auburn, they're coming into the game, they're 5-6. And I would say their key win on the road has been against Kentucky, because the other 2 games, Georgia and Missouri, they lost those games. They did beat Texas A&M last weekend at home, but it was in 4 overtimes. And so that was something worth noting. Now, one thing that I did note, though, in their win against Kentucky, they had 50 carries on the ground. They had over 300 rushing yards, pass completion percentage over 75%, and their time of possession was about 36 minutes. So that just kind of lets you know how they were able to win and somewhat dominate Kentucky in different realms of the game versus how they lost against Georgia, Missouri. So that's something to note, the fact that they were able to run on Kentucky the way that they did. But a couple things that I wanted to mention to you, JB, and then I want to get your take, because I feel like week after week, we sit up here and we break down these different opponents. We had actually gotten to the point where we would break down individual players, and that's cool for what it is. We enjoy doing that. But my thing is that if we're putting in all this effort on our side, we want to see the guys doing that on the field as well. And of course, there's certain guys that are, but it's certain ones that seem like, okay, I question, Coach Saban used to ask the guys, are you satisfied? Simple as that. Are you satisfied? Because it seems like sometimes it seems like they get satisfied or like almost like complacent, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're not here for that. You know, all these raggedy teams, they want to get bowl eligible. What does that mean? What you mean bowl eligible? That doesn't, like, I don't understand that. To me, it's the national championship or it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking two different languages at this point. Now, I may be fluent in another language or two, but I'm not trying to talk about no raggedy bowl games. What you mean? Like, no. So let's talk about, you know, more so from a high level perspective, what I believe, you know, Alabama needs to do to beat Auburn convincingly. And then I want to get your take on what you think we need to do. So as far as our offense, I feel like it's just a few things. We need to neutralize the pass rush, exploit gaps in their secondary as well. I think that we can utilize certain issues that I've seen with their secondary to our advantage, but then also dominating on the ground, the run game. We need our O-line to really step up, you know, make those lanes open for the running backs, because Jam Miller and Justice Haynes, they have to eat. We don't need no ball hogging. We don't need none of that. We need Justice Haynes and Jam Miller to be running the ball. I want to see Richard Young out there as well. But my thing is, you know, the play action passes, all of that, targeting in the middle of the field, using spread formations. I don't understand why we haven't seen more of that, but I think this will be a good game to be able to do that successfully. So when it comes to neutralizing the pass rush from an offensive perspective, my thing is we need to be able to move the pocket, have maybe those design rollouts, or even like the quicker passes. If Milroe is going to start, this is what he would need to do. We don't know if he's going to start. I believe he probably will, just because we're so late into the season. But I mean, I would still, I don't know. I've said how I felt about that situation. I'm not going to kind of go down that path again. But defensively, overall, what I believe we need to do, of course, pressure the quarterback, Peyton Thorne. You know, he has gotten better. I believe maybe he's gotten a little bit more comfortable in his game. But then also take away their top targets in terms of their passing game, their receivers. I think we need to take them away. Go ahead and shut them down, because it seems like they heavily rely on their passing. They have about 2,800 passing yards, 26 passing touchdowns. So we need to be able to take that away. We need to be able to stop the run, win on third down, and then we need to dominate the red zone. I mean, that's just what we need to do. And so one thing that I was thinking about, as far as like, you know, our defense using more of those design coverages, almost even like double teaming their receivers as well. I think that we should do that as well. Spy the quarterback, all that. And hopefully we can see that with Kane, because we've seen bits and pieces of that throughout other games, but I'm hoping that we'll see that this weekend. So I named a few things on offense and defense that I feel like we need to do. What are your thoughts in that regard? Do you agree? And is there anything else that you would point out?
You had some good points there. So I would say this: Auburn is not as bad as their record is. They've lost a lot of close games is because they can't close. They had leagues where they let the team come back. I remember the Oklahoma game. They had that game, I think it was 21-10. They let them come back in the fourth quarter. Yeah. They could have beat Georgia. They had so many opportunities. Auburn could be sitting here 8-9 wins right now if they knew how to close out, but they can't. So I feel like I think this game is going to be tight. I think Auburn does. They actually do. They run the ball well, and when Peyton Thorne is on, he's on, just like he was against Texas A&M. Over 300 yards passing, 3-4 touchdowns. Cam Coleman has been eating lately. Early on, he was a no-show. He's been eating lately. They got a kid, Lambert Smith, the transfer from Penn State. I wish Bama would have got him. He's great. Now, I like him. So they have weapons on the outside. The running back, Jaquez Hunt, he's one of the best running backs in the SEC. He can run the ball, and he can tote the ball 25, 30 times. So we can't let them get the momentum going. We can't let him get the momentum going, because we know he frees. We know he likes to run that tempo. He likes to gamble, right? Yeah. So expect everything, all type of trick plays, going for it on fourth down. Just expect everything coming from them. They're going to try to catch us off balance. This is going to be a test for Kane Bowman. It's going to be a test because, man, the way they can run the ball, even Peyton Thorne, he'll run.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah. And last year he ran on us. He ran the ball well on us. So we're going to have to gap control, just like Dan, the man, always say, gap control. Everybody hold each other accountable on defense. And I think Bray Hubbard and Malachi will be all right on the back end. I'm not too much worried about them. I'm worried more about Justin Jefferson coming in, playing the position that Lawson played, signal calling. We need to have everything on point because one mistake, one person out of a position, they could be a 20, 30-yard gain on the ground, right? And when they get a 20, 30-yard gain on the ground, guess what? They're going to rush up to the line and they're going to run some tempo and they're going to catch us off guard.
Yeah.
One big play can derail the whole defense. So we got to stop that. Offensively, our tackles got to be better. Proctor and Pritchard, they have to be better. They were terrible against Oklahoma. We forget about that. And shouts out George Teague on Tuesday. He pointed that out, man. They were terrible. All the pressure was coming in. It's like the walls were closing in on Jalen. As soon as he stepped back, it was nowhere to go. They were stopping all the design plays. It's like they knew what was coming. And that's where Sheridan's gonna have to get better, man. Switch it up. Switch it. You see it's not working. Why would you try to do the same thing? Insanity is trying to do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. I said, look, JB.
I know you. I know how you get down, CC. I know you.
You know, I went completely off on that post-game show, and I literally said, if what you are doing is not working, try something else. You cannot tell me as an offensive coordinator for a D1 SEC school that you're unless I just don't know, and someone can let me know. But you can't tell me that you're rolling up into a game with one little raggedy game plan because you don't necessarily know. I mean, you have an idea of what the team is going to do, but you don't know that 100%. So you mean to tell me that you have one game plan? You can't make any adjustments? What is that? That's horrible. Like shame on the coaches if that's what they're doing.
And that's the OC. So as coordinators, you playing chess against the other coordinator, right?
Yeah.
So he's got to play chess against the DC on the other side.
Yeah.
If they know what's coming, they already stopping it. You need to come with something else and make them try to stop that. And he hasn't done a great job at doing that. It was terrible against Oklahoma, but we really have those tackles really have to play. I expect Auburn to bring the heat. They're gonna bring the heat because they see what works. You have the blueprint on how to stop us. Send pressure. Make Jalen Milroe get out of there. Make him just put pressure in his face. Bring it from the side, bring it up the middle. But if we can run the ball effectively, and I've been saying this all season, if we can get 5 yards of carry, we can do some things. Just keep doing it though. Don't get 5-6 yards, then go back to something else. Keep running the ball, keep getting positive gains, moving the chains. Positive gains, moving the chains. That should be
move the chain.
Yes, that should be on the blackboard.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Hold the damn ball game. And I'm gonna say this too. If we win the coin toss, take the ball. Take the ball. Go down there and score. Go down there and score. Take the ball, go down there and score. Because you're gonna put the pressure on them. Let them play catch up. Don't defer and say, "Oh, I want my defense to go." Take the damn ball and go down there and score a touchdown. Show them you gonna control this game all game long. Don't worry about getting the ball the second half. I don't like that. Just go go down there and score and put the pressure on them.
You know what? That kind of makes me think like how I'm kind of thinking like how you can play offensively, playing ahead versus playing defensively. You're playing from behind. If you I mean, it's just a way of perceiving a thing. But I want to get your take really quick on something before we catch the next super chat. So we saw Deontay Lawson; he's out for the rest of the season, right? And if we wanted, of course, the right strategy to be able to stop the run is, I would say, having those 3 linebackers. Of course, it was Jahad Campbell, Deontay Lawson, Justin Jefferson. Yeah. With Deontay Lawson out, who do you put there? Do you put like a Jeremiah Alexander or Okoro? Jeremiah Alexander.
I like Jeremiah Alexander. I think he has earned the right to play. And from all I've been hearing, he's been doing great. He's been there. He knows what he's doing. Let him go out there and play. I mean, we have other guys we can kind of mix in there, but you're absolutely right. I think this is the game where we need 3 linebackers on the field.
Yeah, 100%.
We talk about Lawson. We say, "Oh man, Lawson. Lawson is a great player."
Yeah,
Lawson is a great player. He wouldn't be on draft boards if he wasn't a great player. He wouldn't be starting at that crucial position if he wasn't great. He's had his moments, but we're gonna definitely miss him. Yeah. I feel like we missed him when he got hurt in the game.
Yeah,
we missed him, right?
Yeah, you can feel like that immediate impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt it myself. I said, "Oh my God, if he can't come, back, we're in trouble. So yes, I think Jeremiah Alexander will be great for this game, especially stopping the run. Yeah, just let's just do that. We first of all stop the run, because that's what Auburn is going to try to do. They're going to try to run and run with tempo, and that's going to open up the pass game, because you really don't want to test Demarcus Jackson. Yeah. You really don't want to test Demarcus Jackson over there on that island, because he's been locked down all season. And you know, Bray Hubbard's coming to hit. Shouts out to him. He had that forced fumble. He dropping in the box. He coming to hit. You get out there, he gonna light you up going toward the sideline. Yeah. And Malachi is gonna be a dog. He's undefeated, like Steven mentioned, undefeated against Auburn. This is his final game in Bryant-Denny. I want Malachi to get a pregame speech. I think the defense, I ain't got no problem. The defense is gonna do that job. Offense, give me 30 points. Okay. Give me 30 points.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. And we about to get into that. So let's drop our score predictions. So those who are in the live chat, I see y'all in there. Y'all are active tonight. Go ahead and drop what you believe the score prediction is going to be. Now, what I would say, based off of everything that we're saying and what we're hoping that Alabama does. Now, my score prediction, I have 38-21. 38-21, because you just mentioned something, stopping the run. Like I said, their win on the road against Kentucky, they had 50 carries on the ground, 50 plays on the ground, over 300 rushing yards. Take that away from them, they're not winning the game at all. And so on top of that, 38-21, I see 5 touchdowns, 2 passing, or 2 rushing, 3 passing, 1 field goal. My thing is that, us being able to run the ball, control the pace of the game and the time of possession, I think we'll be fine to have a strong defensive performance. So that's what I got. And then also stretching the field vertically. So as far as offensive players of the game, I would either go with maybe a wide receiver or a tight end. I'm not going to name, players like I didn't do last week. I'm just going to say position groups. So I feel like wide receivers or tight ends. And then as far as defense, edge rusher or defensive lineman. So that's what I have. But what would you have?
Okay. We about the same, because I got Bama 42-21. I think it's gonna be one of those games. It may be close. We have to get turnovers. We have to make Payton Thorne throw the ball away to us, because if he didn't turn the ball over last week, if I'm mistaken, I don't think he turned the ball over. Auburn wins when he plays well, so we have to get him rattled, get some turnovers. I'm saying I think we come out fired up. Ryan Williams, player of the game. I think Ryan Williams goes off. Yeah. I mean, I know if I'm Ryan Williams, I'm upset about last week. Y'all took 2 touchdowns from me. Yeah. Y'all took 2 touchdowns from me, especially that one with the faulty penalty. Man, come on.
Like, what was that?
Oh, man, that was terrible. And I don't think he stepped out. I mean, you could barely see a little white. But anyway, I think he's going to be ready to go. And it's going to be chirping. And, Cam Coleman on the other side. So you
got Riddick running his mouth. I mean, it's just.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Ryan Williams, give me 150, 200 yards, 2-3 touchdowns. Big game for Ryan Williams. But we have to run the ball in order to open that up for Ryan. We got to run the ball effectively, though. Defense, Malachi Moore. I think he gets some kind of turnover, fumble, interception, and a bunch of tackles. So that's who I'm going with. Okay. 42-21, Bama.
All right. Shout out to that. Okay, well, hopefully
that's ass meat built.
However you want to interpret it. Yes. All right, let's get this other super chat before we move on. So shout out to Bishop Frank DR Newkirk. Thank you for the super chat. Happy blessed Thanksgiving, Bama family. Enjoy gumbo. I would love some gumbo right now. That's one of my favorites. I love gumbo. When I went to New Orleans a few years ago, my mission, I was there for a different reason, but my mission, I was like, I have to try gumbo at least 4 different restaurants, because I want to see if each one has their own twist to it. And they actually did. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. But let's move into the next topic. So I want to get into potential games that may work for our favor this weekend. Now, you know, we hate to look at it from that perspective, but it is what it is. I mean, that's just, you know, I mean, you have to. So I'm gonna name a few games, and then I want to get your take really quickly, JB. And like I said, those in the chat, we're gonna have the Q&A segment right after this, actually. So go ahead and drop your comments, and then we'll highlight some of them and answer them. So you have Michigan at Ohio State, of course, and that's an earlier game, but Michigan at Ohio State. Ohio State is number 2 right now. You have Tennessee at Vanderbilt, number 8. Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, you know, they've been doing pretty well, as we know firsthand. South Carolina at Clemson. That's going to be another one. Then you have number 5, Notre Dame at USC. Number 6, I have number 6, Miami at Syracuse. Syracuse is 8-3, so you can't overlook them. But then I also have Washington at number 1, Oregon. I have that because it's a night game, but Washington beat Michigan and USC. So I feel like you can't 100% sleep on Washington. You know, we'll see. I don't know. Oregon may run the table in their regular season game, so we'll see. And of course, you have number 3, Texas at number 20, Texas A&M night game. I think Texas may get their second loss in this game. Texas A&M is mad, so you know, I think Texas may get their second loss. And then you have, I listed this one just, you know, I believe Cal at number 9, SMU, because Cal beat Auburn earlier this season. So, you know, but I want to know your take. Any of those or any other games that you feel like may be an upset alert that could impact Alabama in a positive way?
Well, we need a couple. We definitely need South Carolina to beat Clemson, I feel, because when you look at the brackets, we're the second team out. Clemson's the first team out. If Clemson wins, they're going to jump ahead of somebody else that falls out. So we have to look at that. And all Bama's going to do if we win is jump in the first team out, you know, and then we can't be mad because all we can say, we didn't deserve it anyway. But we're going to need 2 upsets. South Carolina can really do us justice if they knock Clemson out. They can do that self-justice. They'll feel like they have, you know, they've done enough to make the playoffs. But they didn't beat Alabama. They didn't beat Ole Miss. That's why they're behind Alabama and Ole Miss right now. And another game to look out for, it's the SMU Cal. One loss and SMU's out.
Yep.
I feel like Miami too. Miami's up. They're number 6. So they may be they still can go to the ACC championship and win.
But see, they already have that one loss though. So
yeah. So it's I don't know. Notre Dame, USC. Man, it's hard to say because we've had so many upsets. Think about last week before. It's been so many upsets. So I feel like it's going to be something. That's why I feel like Bama has a chance. If we handle business,
I mean, you just named them.
Upset.
Exactly. You literally just named them. South Carolina beats Clemson. Cal beats SMU. Texas loses to Texas A&M. They're playing at Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a good team. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, I mean, that.
You know what? I think we need Texas to win, actually, because that'll knock A&M completely out of the picture.
And they're number 20, though.
Yeah, but they have a chance. They beat Texas. They go to the SEC championship, and they can beat Georgia and get in the SEC, get in the playoffs. Texas won't fall all the way out. Texas is number 3. They won't fall out. Georgia ain't going nowhere. So it's we need Tennessee to lose. We need Tennessee to lose to Vandy. That'll put Tennessee at 3 losses too.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we lost to Tennessee, though.
We did lose to Tennessee.
That's the tricky part. Yeah. I mean, look, all I'm gonna say is if Alabama's supposed to be in, we'll get in. If not, then I mean, whatever. Because we shouldn't have lost no stupid Oklahoma in the first place. So
exactly. Let the chips fall where they may. Let's handle business. Don't even
have me going off again. For real, like that was some straight up garbage. Like we sent up what? JB, I like literally my mouth. I'm just looking at the scoreboard like you got to be 3.
Yeah. And I was under the impression we were going to come back after halftime. I was like, oh, we got to.
It was a good impression because we sure didn't. Just sitting up there just looking like we could have stayed in Tuscaloosa. I can't even imagine if I was at that game. I would have tore that stadium up. Like, shut all this stuff down. Like, everybody go home. Like, absolutely not. Okay, let's get into the Q&A. I don't know. Maybe we'll see some upsets, but let's get into the Q&A and let's see what questions we have tonight. Should be fun.
See what we got.
334 Guh question: can Milroe be developed if he goes somewhere else? I think so. I think so. If he goes, I think he could have been developed if we had Ryan Grubb. I think that would have been a positive impact for him. So that was a negative that was a negative more so in regard to development for Milroe when we didn't get Ryan.
Yes, because if you Michael Penix wasn't Michael Penix before he got to Washington, right? I mean, he still was he still was him, but he wasn't him, like capital H-I-M. They turned Michael Penix to a Heisman contender, national championship quarterback, and an 8th pick overall. Right? They did that in one season. Well, really 2 seasons because they had him for 2 seasons. Milroe, Jalen Hurts was good at Bama. When he went to Oklahoma, they unlocked him his pass. They unlocked him in a different way, and he ended up being drafted. And he's doing very well in the NFL. So I think Milroe's going to NFL. I don't think he's going to transfer.
You think he's going to the NFL this year?
Yeah, I think he's going to the NFL.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Interesting. Okay. Another question. Why are the coaches continuing to not make adjustments and let these games get off the rails? It's one or two things. Either they don't know what they are doing, or I feel like maybe they're just so set on whatever they came up with that they just think that it's gonna work. But it's like you're almost like trying to fit like a square peg in a circle, if you will. I don't know. I mean, to me, it seems like they don't know what they're doing.
And they may be too cocky. They may think that it's gonna work, and they may have the blueprint, and it don't work. They don't want to adjust anything. They just want to get mad at the players for not making it work. Yep. Like when Smokey, Mama gave him $1, told him go get some cigarettes, and he looked at it. What is this? She said, "Making enough.
I'm making enough.
Make it work."
It out.
Yeah, and sometimes it just won't work. So I mean,
that may be what it is. Yeah,
it is what it is.
Arrogance.
Yeah.
All right. Randy Ware, too much pressure for Milroe. 3 picks. Auburn. Nah.
Man, get out of here with that negativity. Come on, Randy.
No, I mean, we appreciate you watching though, but nah, we ain't, because you sounded like y'all little raggedy freshman linebacker, Demarcus Riddick, running his mouth like he got no. Y'all keep that down there in raggedy Auburn.
Hey, what about the pressure we gonna put on Payton Thorne?
I know, y'all. What about all them interceptions he was throwing earlier in this? We ain't forgetting that. We're gonna have him throwing a few.
Payton Thorne was getting it. They were donating money to get rid of Payton Thorne. You remember early in the season?
I remember.
Man, I thought he was gonna quit. I thought he was gonna quit.
I did too. I was waiting for him to say that he was gonna enter the portal because the way, like, just the outcry. I mean, they were done with him.
Yeah.
It's
typical Auburn though. But I mean, I understand it. But I don't know, man.
That's what you do when you raggedy.
Both of these quarterbacks won't be there next year. Like Payton Thorne won't be there next year.
He ready to go. He ready to go.
Hell on.
Okay, what do we have next? Curtis White question. Do you all think that so-called OC of ours is going to cause Bama the game? Man, I think it's so much pressure. If he won't keep in that check. I think he's going to get it right for this one.
I hope not. I mean, just call it simple, man.
Yeah.
Call it simple. I mean, if it's not working, go to something else. You need to have 3 different game plans. You need to have the first game plan. You need to have the bag up plan. And then you need to have the bag up to the bag up plan.
You really do. I mean, to me, a good coach, that's what they do, right? I mean, you can't be that headstrong thinking that, okay, this one thing that I have in mind is going to work. You don't know if a certain player is going to go out that your game plan somewhat depends on. I mean, you can't be that slow, you know?
And see, you don't know the situation. You may go down 14-0 real quick. You may have to come, just like we went down after the pick 6. Man, we had to come back. We need to come back. We need a whole different game plan. You need to run some tempo.
Yeah. And that's a good point. That's a good point, because your game plan when you're in the lead would be a little different from when you're playing from behind.
Exactly.
Come on now. I mean, see, that's what I'm saying. Like if we can see this, if we get it, surely they get it. They have to. Because I mean, we weren't prepared at all against Oklahoma, like what they did that week, the coaches.
We're looking ahead to Auburn.
Yeah. We
no, they feel like to me, they looked ahead.
No, it seemed like, yeah.
All
right. What else do we have? Should Pritchett start?
Man, I put him on a short leash. Put him
Yeah.
on a short leash. I mean, what conform he man, we got to get better at that right tackle position.
But what if we put maybe I would say Robbie Oots out to his side, to his right.
Well, you know, Robbie, he been helping all year. He been coming in the game.
You need to
Put him
keep
on that
helping.
side. Would you want to star Robbie Oots at right tackle?
I mean, I don't know. We could. No, we actually could. He said that he prefers blocking than catching. I mean, we literally could consider that.
And see, that's the thing. Go ahead, Justin.
Actually, what you really need to have happen is Jaden Roberts come back. Jaden Roberts really made up for a lot of Pritchett's shortcomings. And I think that's what kind of hindered Jaden to some degree. If Jaden was able to take care of his own business instead of having to carry Pritchett on his shoulders, he would have had a much better performance. I mean, he's been bothered by injury this year, but he really has helped Pritchett hold it together. You just haven't really seen that on film. And yes, having Robbie Oots out there to tag team with him makes a big difference, because if you leave Pritchett out there by himself, oh dear Lord, start praying, get everybody on that list of prayer, lay hands, because it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
But hopefully Jaden's able to come back and go the entire game, because I noticed a big shift in pressure with Jaden being out. I mean, no knock on I forgot the guy's name who replaced him. Yeah, Gino Vandermark. He's going to be really good, but Jaden's another level above him. He's going to be an NFL player for a long time.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's hard to replace the Bama Hope, man. I mean,
you can't. You can't
replace him, man. He's been giving it his all season, and you know, I commend Jaden Roberts for that. But you know, there's only so much you can do, you know, trying to carry the load like Justin just mentioned on that side. So, but Robbie Oots has been incredible, you know, and we just have to stop being so predictable. When he motions, most of the time we're gonna run to that side. It's too predictable.
I agree.
Yeah. Jeremy Sanders.
Just beat Auburn, get to focusing on keeping our recruiting class together, then go to the Dollar General Bowl.
Man, stop.
I know.
Dollar General Bowl.
Yeah. Next question. That's the last one.
Man, we're going to Cheez It Bowl. We're going to play Coach Prime in the most highly advertised game of the century. That's not a playoff game. You look good, you play good, you feel good. Bowl.
Oh my God.
Hey, Saban got to come back for that one. Just one game only. Boy, we'll sell so many tickets. Coach Saban come out of retirement and coach against Prime. The Aflac Bowl. The Aflac Bowl.
Matter of fact, the first 10,000 people who buy tickets are going to get a copy on iTunes for free of "Must Be the Money."
Must Be the Money.
They're
not going to do that. They're not going to, because that Alabama, Colorado, that will outshine all the damn playoffs.
It really would. Well, any social media or any shows that you want to promote?
Oh, yeah. Sports Talking with JB. Follow me or subscribe on YouTube, Sports Talking with JB. Find me here every Wednesday on the Crimson Dynasty, of course. We'll have Dan back next week. Sunday night talking Bama, me, JT, Stephen M. Smith. 7 p.m. Central Time every Sunday. Hopefully we have some good to talk about this Sunday. Talk about belt the ass on Auburn.
All right. Yep, we got the post-game show this weekend right after the matchup against Auburn. You can find me on X at official Cishi, and then on Instagram at beauty_of_intelligence. And there will not be a Teague's Take tonight, so we will end things here. And Bo Scarborough will be on the post-game show as well. So it's going to be a lit one, y'all. We're going in. So be sure to tune in. We'll be right here on the Bama Standard Network immediately after the game. We're going to give our live immediate reaction. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see y'all after the game. Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide. Don't give a piss about none.